good, dude.
We're good.
So, this is the first podcast of Shed Talk with the boys, Jared and Evan. I'm Jesse. You can get some topics going here today. Always fun.
Always fun. Do you want to start with the one that you guys think that I'm lying about and my sources are invalid?
Okay,
Yeah, okay,
Jared.
so we have a little segment of the day today, boys. A segment of the day. I can't make sure you get...
What the hell was that?
I'm inspired by Chris D'Elia lately, you know? Everything going on. He always goes... Anyway, so...
Yeah, Evan, big Chris D'Elia.
So what's your fact?
Big Chris D'Elia.
What's your fact of the day?
The fact of the day is that humans can be born without an anus. And I got this from the U.S. National Library of Medicine. Okay?
So you're...
So...
The sources are good, then.
The sources, in my mind, are good. This is a valid source you could write an essay on, right?
I don't know if anything in the States is valid anymore.
Hey.
At this point, I don't think so.
Oh, by the way, we are from Canada, you know, repping Montreal. Let's go. Okay, so you think that they could be born without
Yes,
an
it
anus?
says someone could be born with a defect in which the opening of the anus is either missing or completely blocked.
So how do they go to the bathroom? They have to
Yeah.
cut a hole in there.
So the story
No,
that I got this from is the headline of the story from NBC News. Again, I think this is a pretty valid source.
Yeah, that seems like it, at least.
Why would NBC
A
News
man
put this on
who
the...
lived 55 years with an anus in the wrong place. So basically, the man's anus wasn't where his anus was supposed to be. It was further forward and too small.
No.
So what? He was like...
He was scooping poop at basically what the
disgusting.
story says.
So theoretically, it could be born... Like, you could have your anus on the side of your rib cage or something if it's in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I don't think there
It's-
could be
it's-
that much
It's
of a
it's not
defect,
up. It's in the same general area, but it could either be further up
Okay, but how does
or
this happen?
further forward. 1 in every 5,000 kids is born with this. But the chances of this
One
happening,
every 5 kids.
5,000.
Oh.
1 every 5,000. The chance of this
I was
happening to your
gonna
kid
say.
are still pretty big.
Okay, but what is if, like, how... I don't even know what to say to this at this
Just-
point.
This is
Yeah,
a
but
stumper.
there's nothing
Imagine
to say.
you're sitting at the dinner table. You know, most families, we watch, you know, CTV News or something when we're eating supper. Imagine just eating supper and all you see is NBC News pops up. Kids can be
On
born
the
without an
TV,
anus.
That's terrible.
And you're just like, thanks, there goes my potatoes.
I don't think they would put stuff like that on the TV, though.
So the reason he went 55 years without it is that he didn't have the money to do it.
Yeah.
So he didn't have the money to get the surgery. And basically what it does is that the anus is too small to actually have like normal bowel movements. Is that the
Yeah.
word? Bowel movement. So he had to watch what he ate. He couldn't have a lot of fiber. He couldn't.
Oh, yeah, because in it, yeah.
He's constipated. He dies. Unfortunately, he's dead. There's no way
Wait, I
for.
thought fiber was...
No,
it helps you poop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you eat too much, he can't get it out fast enough. So he was very, very thin.
Oh, wow.
So it fucks with your
So that
whole
means he
thing.
could definitely not have any gains in the gym, eh? Man could not eat.
Man, he's very thin. He was very thin, according
What a
to
tragedy.
this.
Yeah.
We all know it's gain season,
But-
baby.
It did not prevent him from getting married and having kids, according to this. Again,
That's
NBC News.
a legend.
At
though.
one point, do you get your kids
Imagine.
to like help you out a little bit? You know, as a
I mean,
chore?
that's disgusting. That's disgusting.
I mean, what if he's having a tough day that day? You never know, you know.
It brings the whole, oh, you're going to change my diapers when I'm old to a whole new level, dude. Like,
Wow. That's Okay, and you said that thing about broccoli before.
Broccoli. Oh, you want the broccoli one? Okay.
Broccoli is man-made.
Broccoli's man-made.
How does that
How?
even happen? It's a
No.
vegetable.
you
It's
got
a
to
vegetable.
It comes out of the ground.
Yeah, but it was man-made.
What do you mean man-made?
How do
It
you...
was crossbred between a
From
cabbage plant
And cauliflower.
and a version of cauliflower.
That makes sense.
And then
'cause
they
it's
kept
green.
doing it over and over again until we got what we have
But why?
broccoli now.
What is the use of broccoli? Like, why not just keep the cauliflower and the cabbage? Why do you need broccoli? And who decided we're gonna call it broccoli?
Very good question. Especially for Google, I think.
It has no. Let me Google it.
But
Because, like, there's no reference. Why is it called broccoli?
You have it right away. You see that it's man-made. It's the first.
The
thing
word
that-
broccoli comes from the Italian plural of broccolo, which means the flowering crest of a cabbage,
You see?
and is the diminutive form of brocco, meaning small nail or sprout. No, but
So
it says
it was-
origin
it
Italy
was-
more than 2,000 years ago.
It was still man-made.
Do you think we were that
You-
smart to crossbreed it 2,000 years ago?
yeah,
Who
probably.
even? Eh,
Yes.
that's like Jesus time right there.
No. That's
Yes.
definitely not Jesus time.
2000.
What do you mean
Year
it's not
20.
Jesus time?
2K, but like
We're in the year 20
depends,
right now,
yeah,
and they have
but-
problems. You
but-
know, people are trying to kill each other with swords right now,
No.
and they're like, "Yo, hold on, let me crossbreed cabbage and cauliflower. It might solve some of our issues here." No,
maybe a bunch of farmers
some guys
had
like,
some
"Hey, look,
ideas, maybe.
I'm a pioneer of my time.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Again, my source is
Or
Moment of Science. That's the website.
Moment of science.
It's Moment of Science. Now that I say it out loud, that doesn't sound grammatically
doesn't-
correct,
yeah,
so I'm
but-
doubting my source.
Oh my.
But you have it. Type
So,
broccoli
from-
is broccoli man-made. It's
They
the first thing
crossbred
that
it from a
comes up-
cabbage?
the cabbage and a cauliflower. They kept crossbreeding it.
Cauliflower. So
And-
cauliflower is
Yeah,
an
yeah, I
actual
know, it's-
vegetable then.
Cauliflower is an actual vegetable.
Yeah, it says it is a human invention. Oh, okay. It was cultivated to have a specific taste and flavor that was more palatable to people. Are they saying broccoli is not good? Are
No,
they
they're
saying
cauliflower
cauliflower
is not good.
I love cauliflower.
Or
I
cabbage.
hate
could be
cauliflower
saying
and
cabbage,
broccoli.
But it
Yeah.
has no taste. Cauliflower is a
disgusting.
tasteless thing.
No,
so you
it's
can put
not.
anything. You can drench it in barbecue sauce, and it tastes like just barbecue sauce. There's
You
no
could do
ba-
that with anything.
You could put
drench
twisted
a
tea in it.
steak in barbecue
could-
sauce and
you
it
could-
tastes like barbecue sauce. What's your
Yeah.
point?
You could just soak it in twisted tea, and it tastes like twisted tea.
Love twisted tea.
You know, maybe we should ask Twisted Tea if they'll sponsor us with with
Twisted
some
Tea. If somehow you hear this,
cauliflower.
if somehow you work at Twisted Tea and you hear this, please sponsor us and
Yeah.
send me free Twisted Tea.
So we can
I
try
love
it
you.
with cauliflower.
We'll put it like right here, right next to the microphones. Camera, hey camera, right here. It's gonna be right here.
That's funny. Then we can have one of those, you know, those banners that go across.
Flag. Yeah.
Wow. Hi.
So do you guys want me to do my other topic, or do you guys want to do a topic?
You know, Jared,
Let's
your
let
topics,
Jesse go.
your topics have been on par today.
Yeah.
What I'm wondering is, you know, I was looking at some Navy SEAL requirements. Okay. I was looking at
You
like
looked at it already, didn't you?
yeah,
a while
okay.
ago.
Yeah. So I was looking at them, and I'm reading through them, and it's like you have your standard scores hidden, you have your optimum scores, and your optimum score is run 1.5 miles in 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, 1.5 miles, 1.6
like
plus
2K?
800. It's like 2.2 kilometers, 2.4 kilometers.
Yeah.
Okay, in 8.5 minutes. 2.4
I mean,
kilometers.
I think I could do that.
2.4 kilometers, 8.5 minutes. That's a 4 minute. That's under a 4 minute. That's like a 3 minute and like 50-second kilometer.
Yeah.
For 1.5 miles. That's hauling cheeks
Prime,
out there.
Prime Jared could probably do that.
Prime Jared. Oh, we
Prime Jared could very much do that.
That's and I think it was like 200 push-ups in 2 minutes, or maybe not 100
Yeah,
push-ups.
definitely
In
can't
2
do that.
minutes?
100 push-ups.
But how do they go based off of that?
I don't know.
Because some people have longer arms, so they have to go down more.
oh
no?
yeah, eh? More contraction. On
And
the
I'm
muscle.
almost
Right?
200 pounds. This dude's 140. That's like
Yeah, but theoretically, you should have more muscle mass,
Okay. Theoretically.
theoretically.
like science
But,
based. Well,
yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to,
I have
become a
I have
Navy,
less body fat than you.
True.
if you're trying to become a Navy
That's
SEAL,
true.
you know, like,
It's a fact.
it is pure
Fact.
fact.
It is a fact.
of the
Jared
day.
is the lowest, most shredded body fat person I've ever met in my life. He's pretty much like prime Ronnie Coleman. Prime Ronnie Coleman. Jared's about 292 pounds of pure muscle.
Yeah.
Imagine. Imagine you're 292 pounds.
If I was 292 pounds at my current state, we'd have a very big problem. We would have a very big problem.
The thing is, Prime Jared, as we all know, was running 10K in 40 minutes, right? 44 minutes?
Sub 50.
Sub 50.
It was like a 48 something.
And he had abs, you said.
And I had abs, yeah. This was Prime Jared.
Do you miss Prime Jared?
I miss Prime Jared, yeah. Prime Jared couldn't drink as much alcohol, though. I don't miss that.
Again, Twisted Tea. If you're
Again,
listening
Twisted
to this,
Tea.
Yeah. Jared,
If somehow you hear this,
Jared.
I love you. Sponsor me.
like, I deeply just love you.
I very much love you.
You know, sometimes I wonder, just looking out the window right now, what my family is doing. I mean, I see two people on paddle boards in my pool, and I'm kind of wondering what's going on.
And we're in your basement. No, we're in the shed. We're in the shed.
Okay. Guys, the reason why this podcast is called Shed Talk, we were going to do it in a shed, of course. The shed's not ready.
Yeah,
There's stuff in the shed. But it will be coming soon, maybe. Hopefully.
It will be ready soon.
One day.
We just gotta keep working
Shed
on
Talk, you know? And
it. The only thing stopping us right now is the fact that we all have jobs and we can't work on the shed.
yeah,
But
and
the shed will be
honestly,
ready.
I think, like, I'm kind of disappointed in the fact that TED Talk kind of stole our name, you know? Shed Talk.
Yeah.
Sounds very similar.
I definitely didn't.
And maybe we should have a conversation with TED Talk about that.
We'll have a cease and desist letter sent to them.
We say, hey, TED Talk, want to come on our Shed Talk podcast for the day? We could have a
I
friendly
think we
discussion.
could get some of that. I think that we could
yeah.
probably get some of
There's a lot of guys who do TED Talks. I'm pretty sure, like, if you have an experience in something or you're knowledgeable in a certain thing, you could do one.
I guarantee you there's someone who knows little to anything on something who
Oh,
got a
for sure.
TED Talk.
You know,
I think Kid Cudi had a TED Talk.
You can just memorize stuff. It's like
yeah, I could memorize a speech from, like, Nelson Mandela and just go on there and pretend that it's my...
You're Nelson Mandela.
oh my god.
No,
you're
but-
gonna go out and do blackface,
Like this-
get canceled, get us canceled.
Yeah. No, I would never do that. Speaking about, you know, the whole controversy in the United States, we're not going to talk about that because this is a happy podcast, you know, Shed Talk.
This is an escape.
This is an escape place.
Happy
But
podcast.
obviously, you know, you got to support the movement and make sure that there's equality all around. But that brings us
That's a question. That shouldn't be. Black lives matter. They're not even saying should be like equal. They're just saying matter, and people have a problem with that.
I know,
That's the problem.
that's what I don't get. Like, people...
That's the problem. How do they not
Yeah,
matter?
and like to a point, you know, it shouldn't be, you know, a black man was murdered by a white cop. It should just be a man was murdered by a cop.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter what race.
Right.
Yes, but even if it's white on white crime or black on black crime, it shouldn't matter. It's still a crime, you know, like.
Yeah.
So we gotta work on that. But what really annoys me is, you know, you see the NFL and they pretty much like they didn't kick Colin Kaepernick out of the league, but he can't play anymore. No one wants to sign him, you know?
No.
And because he was kneeling. And now they had banned kneeling 2 years ago, and now they're going back and saying, hey, like, we don't like, we condemn racism and stuff like that, and like, we're gonna work towards it, but then why are you like extorting one of your players, and why are you not making them allowed to kneel, you know? It's a really.
But do you think they actually really support it, or they're just saying it to be?
Well, I think every company kind of has to go out and say something, but you know how many? I'm pretty sure like there's a high percentage of players. Well, a high percentage of players in the NFL are African American. You know, and they're trying to put more owners and stuff. Well, owners. They're trying to put more like coaches and stuff in positions that are of minorities, but like they have to support it to an extent. Because what happens if you were really racist? Like team owner and you had a bunch of African Americans playing for you, you wouldn't feel very good about yourself, right? So they have to all be accepting of some way.
Yeah.
Except Jerry Jones. I don't know.
Jerry Jones.
I got a bad feeling about that guy. Jerry Jones.
Where do you get his money? Is it oil?
That's a good question. I think so. He's from Texas.
It has to be oil, then,
So,
right?
Well, I don't know if he's from Texas. He seems like a Texas guy. I see him wear a cowboy hat sometimes.
But wouldn't you wear a cowboy hat if you theoretically would play for the Dallas Cowboys, right?
I'd wear a cowboy hat.
You'd wear a
all
cowboy
the
hat
time.
all the time.
100%.
And we both hate that team, but if you were to play, you have to wear the cowboy hat.
You have to. Would you wear a cowboy hat?
Just
Evan?
tape it over your helmet.
I would play with a cowboy hat
Yeah,
on.
on top of your
Cowboy
helmet.
hat helmet.
Right.
It's a cowboy hat, and then there's a grill that comes down in front of the
No,
face.
that doesn't seem safe.
No, but that it would be safe.
It would be safe though.
It would be no, but like the helmet would be built in as a cowboy hat. I'm not just playing with a regular cowboy hat and then throwing a face mask on.
I was gonna say,
You can just like you could zip tie it, you know, zip tie the face mask. Put some holes in your cowboy hat, zip tie a face mask to it, put a chin strap on, and start running down. Think about
If you were a punter or a kicker, 100%.
But you know what? Punters and kickers sometimes they get run over.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to punt the ball, do your job. No one's like trying to harass you. But then all of a sudden you just get like Cam Chancellor comes across the corner and decides to take your head off, and it's like, dude, I'm just an average Joe out here. I'm not actually an athlete.
Well, they're athletes.
Yeah, Pat McAfee is an athlete. I'll
They're
tell you
Pat
that.
Bears.
Pat McAfee, if you see this, sponsor us.
That is-
Get Pat McAfee, the person, to sponsor our podcast.
It's gonna be called Shed Talk, aka Pat McAfee Show 2.0.
Pat McAfee, back up a bit. They might need helmets because Pat McAfee, there's highlights of him destroying people on the
I
sideline.
know.
Bro, that man is an athlete.
He's low-key a boomstick. I think he's one of like maybe top like 50 hardest hitters in the NFL at the time.
After when he was playing,
Maybe top 20.
maybe.
Because
Those
when he was punting,
He was throwing the body around.
I would be more scared about him than if they put like an old lineman out there trying to hit me. Or
It's
even
the same
like
thing.
Ray Lewis.
Remember the was it the Miami Miracle there? They had Gronk just standing there.
I know. I don't
Gronk
know.
couldn't do shit.
I don't know. About
You throw
that one.
Pat McAfee back there. Pat McAfee making the tackle, 100%.
100%.
He's making the tackle.
He's like a god. Like his
Why was Gronk back
his
there?
range. Gronk had no range. The man could run like I don't know.
Slow.
His
very
40
slow.
was probably like 4.8. You
Yeah.
know, Pat McAfee is probably like 4.4.
What is Pat McAfee's 40 size? Let's look it up.
I don't know. It's a good question, eh? But I guess it's pretty. Well, it's tough to get faster and shit. Yeah, it's
Well, when you're half a Iron Man, like
4.8.
the guy.
4.48, sorry. No, that's Christian McCaffrey. Why did it do that?
Christian McCaffrey.
I wrote Pat McAfee. First thing that comes up,
Christian McCaffrey.
4.48, and then it says McCaffrey ran him 4.48.
Imagine.
I was about to say that, Pat McAfee hauling ass.
Getting in some.
4.8.
What do you do? Are you working out today, Evan? This is also a workout podcast, you know?
Probably, yeah.
Because Jared is a certified personal trainer if you guys want programs from him.
Certified personal trainer.
I'm getting a dad bod, so we're kind of reverse Unoing here
Take
in
twisted
life.
teas between every set.
Yeah, you know?
You could be a fat personal trainer. I don't think it's like a
Oh,
coach,
no, for sure.
NBA coach. Bunch of like 5'10" white dudes.
Yeah.
They know how to play They don't know like how to actually play basketball. They know how to play it though.
Yeah.
They know how
Well-
to tell people how to play it.
That's the thing. You see a lot of these bodybuilding coaches, and some of them are jacked, but some of them, they're a little chunky, you know, because they're past their prime. There's no need for them
Yeah.
to.
Pass my
And
prime.
it's
I'm
all up
fast.
here.
I'm clearly past my
It's all up here, but they got to know how to do the movement, like the motion, right? Because Evan was telling me the other day, and you can go check this out on HCAM Fitness, you know, also our fitness page, but
just throwing in all our Instagram.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
follow
plug it
this
in
guy.
there, you know?
Follow this.
HCAM Fitness, you know, go check it out. Cool workouts. Evan was telling me about doing the pull-ups. You know, if you lock out your shoulders properly, you're gonna activate your lats a lot more than just
Well, it's
activating
two,
your shoulders.
two motions. pull-ups.
Exactly.
Like, you dead hang, so you're not doing anything, and then you pull up your shoulders.
Exactly.
Or you pull down your shoulders, and then you pull up.
So you're really working the whole muscle. But if
Yeah.
these guys never worked out in their lives, then they won't know. They might know some stuff like that, but they won't know all the activation techniques because they don't have the experience to an extent, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess you could, but
It's
Matt,
technique.
we should throw
Experience.
a reverse Uno out there and get guys to get dad bods. But you don't want that just pure fat dad bod. You want muscular arms
Yeah.
that aren't shredded. You want strong muscular arms that aren't shredded,
But
and
still
then
down.
a little belly. But you want to be strong and thick. You know, you get
Thick.
thick.
Bunch of C's.
Bunch of C's.
Bunch of C's.
You know, because you see some dads and they got that thick chest. So we could make a program, you like Evan said, you have some beer, some Twisted Teas, sponsored by Twisted Tea. Hopefully, we never know.
Twisted Tea. Again, I'll do this the whole podcast. I love you.
Have some between sets, and then just do some some heavy weight just to put on some muscle. We'll even do a nutrition plan for you. Get some. You won't be able to do any body weight exercises. I'll tell you that right now. Your strength, because a lot of dads, you see them, they can lift heavy stuff, but ask them to do more than 20 push-ups, they're finished. They can't even do a pull-up.
Yeah. You got to have a dad bod, but also be athletic.
Sure. Oh, that's hard.
Like, I have a dad bod. But when we
kinda...
played baseball, softball, I could still go around and make the play.
True.
Oh, for sure. Well,
athletic dad bod.
I have once seen you kick a ball.
I've kicked a ball once. I did kick it. I stopped it with my foot.
Just in context, it wasn't a soccer ball. It was a baseball.
But the worst part is, that whole sequence, our first tournament, it got through Corey, which shouldn't have happened.
But it passed everybody.
It passed everyone. It got through Corey, the shortstop. Yeah. Nothing gets past Corey for some reason. It got past him. Then I booted it. And then I overthrew the second baseman.
Yeah.
The person got in the park home run.
Yeah.
On our first...
Oh, it was
Kelly.
It was.
Wow, okay, I'm sorry. I hope she never hears this podcast, but fuck.
She should not have got a home run. We fucked up.
No, that was
bad. We had 18 errors on that
I was on the
play.
bench, actually, and I was screaming at you guys. Because there's one person that shouldn't have got that home run. Could have been anyone else.
It could have been literally anybody.
Could have been anyone else. She tripped. She fell.
It's
on
true.
the way to home plate, and you guys still didn't have the time to get it.
We still didn't get it.
That's what you talk about, pylons.
Did we win that game or did we lose that game?
Of course we won that game. We got our shit together.
Who did we lose? Oh, we lost against Margie.
Yeah, and then we beat them again.
And then we beat them again, yeah.
Just, we're like the best softball team in the country.
The country. Maybe not even our small ass city.
Our small town of maybe 12,000 people, We're not the best. But potentially, we have
But if it was just people from our small town, I think would be the best. Because I don't think...
Yeah, because a lot of people...
I don't think the Mets...
From here.
The Mets aren't from Tumo.
Most of them, no.
And the Cardinals aren't all from Tumo.
No.
We are, if there's any, out-of-towners from here, we are coming to you from Two Mountains, Quebec.
Two Mountains,
So, this is, near Laval, Montreal. Good luck trying to find us, because if you live outside of Montreal, the only place you know is Montreal.
Even then, people that... We go to school in the city of Montreal. People don't even know where we live.
Oh, I know.
We're like, from Two Mountains. Where the hell is that?
It's like a lack of education, I guess some people, you gotta know where you are in life.
It's the suburbs, bro. That's what happens.
I guess,
We're
the suburb life.
Suburb
Yeah,
life.
but back to the workout thing.
Back to what we were talking about before we trailed off.
Back to the workout thing here. So we're doing what are you doing today, Evan? Some back and chest?
I don't know.
You
doing whatever I feel like doing.
You have a pull-up bar that can support my massive back
hangs on the door frame, though.
Oh, dude, that pull-up bar. Just to say to all you listeners, never buy a pull-up bar that goes in a door frame if you weigh above a certain weight.
Yeah. Because
you'll break your door frame or you'll fall and
mine's
break
already
your tailbone.
Destroyed.
And Evan's a solid 40 pounds of pure muscle. Honestly, you're probably
138 yesterday. 138.8.
So how are you losing weight?
I was empty in the morning, Jared. I didn't eat anything. By the end of the day, I'm 145. Because I'm just stuffing my face with food, dude.
Wow, that's impressive. 7 pounds.
Right?
If you had to
in one day, though.
If you were if you were a UFC fighter, you had to make weight.
Oh
but you have to go up in
weight. I
weight.
7 burgers before the match or whatever.
Okay, so
how much weight do you think you could gain in one day if you had to? If you're given a full day to gain as much weight as possible, how are you doing it? And how much do you think you could do?
I think including water weight, because technically you can drink water, right?
Yeah. You could drink water for 24 hours. You have 24 hours to gain as much weight as
15
possible.
pounds.
And how are you doing it?
15 pounds, I think. Because what I would do is I drink as much water as possible, and then I eat as much food as possible. Now I'd eat heavy food, so I think What would we
What do you
do
consider heavy food?
What would your vegetarian ass
'Cause-
eat?
Because
here? Okay.
you can stuff like literally 2 heads of lettuce
Yeah, but the thing
inside
is,
of your stomach,
no.
and it's gonna be the same weight as like 2 burgers.
Yeah, but the
right?
thing is, yeah. So you want stuff that's
It's gotta be dense. Yeah, dense.
I think I just
Gotta
eat
be
a
dense.
full bucket of KFC.
No,
Okay,
because
that's
you gotta be.
nasty,
It's
though.
about
It is
consistency.
nasty,
It's
but
grease.
it's one day.
It's consistency
Yeah.
here, though. You gotta.
You don't think you could gain a bunch of weight just off of KFC?
I
Yeah,
think
you probably
15.
could, but-
I think 15 pounds with the water, and then you eat like a lot of breads and stuff that absorb the water, and you can drink more water. So it's just, and then what you do is you don't eat light stuff, you know, like the vegetables, because they process fast, you know. I'd eat like I can't eat red meat, you know, but
Cause vegetarian.
okay, little backstory
I
here.
don't like this. I can't.
Well,
You
okay,
choose
you
not
physically
to.
I
can.
choose not
Yeah.
to eat meat.
Well, he probably can't now. He'd probably throw up if he had
Yeah.
some.
You try
story.
that.
Because his stomach's not used
That's
to
a
it.
good. Next episode, we'll get Jesse to eat a bunch of red meat. Just cook him a bunch of steaks.
Okay, guys. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take a leave of absence for next episode. You know, I'm having a baby, and so
Yeah.
Physically.
Yeah.
myself. Oh, okay. Here's something. Corey told me. This is a good one.
Corey, I like how we're giving no backstory. Everyone's just
So-
gonna have a name. Corey.
So Corey is one of our buddies, you know, that we work with and that we all play ball with. It's also Evan's brother.
Would have been an easier description of it, but
You know.
yeah.
Um,
Instead of just a buddy.
he's a
Yo,
good
buddy.
buddy. You know,
He's-
like
you know,
the fact that he's Evan's brother. You know, obviously we like Evan more, so yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Till he- can't wait till he hears this.
Just kidding, Corey. We love you. So, we're at work, and Corey, we're on break, we're sitting there, and Corey says, you know you can have a baby with yourself. And I say, Corey, how does that even work? So he looks at me and he says, okay, so you go to a sperm bank, and you give them some sperm, your own
Let's
sperm.
see where this is going.
You know, he says, you ask them to freeze it and keep it for the future, because they can do that even if you're like, you know, say you want to have a kid down the line, you're scared you'll be infertile or something. So you get it to freeze or whatever, they keep it. And then you go and you get the surgery to become a woman. Okay?
Yeah.
And you get a uterus put in or whatever you can possibly do.
And then you.
And then you take your own sperm, get it implanted inside of you, and now you're pregnant with your own kid.
This people like.
But then, wait, hold
aren't
on.
allowed to have babies
Hold
with their
on.
cousins.
Yeah.
You think they allow you to have a
No,
baby
but-
with yourself?
Hold
That's
on.
kinda-
But Corey
The
made a good
inbreeding
point.
there.
Would it be a clone? Because it's 100% of your DNA. It's not 50-50. There's no split. It's all your. It's 100% of your own DNA. 100% of every, like, all your chromosome, everything. It's all 100% you.
No.
So what would it look like? And would it come out with like a cone-shaped head or something? We don't know.
Yeah.
And now,
First of all,
Probably
the-
major
you
defect.
can't.
First of all.
maybe it'd be like
you
a
can't
cyclops.
have like. I don't think. I think. I'm pretty sure it's in the laws. You can't have like
No.
a child with your sister or with your
Probably
cousin.
not allowed.
No, for sure.
Do you think
no.
you think
Well,
they're
but-
gonna let you
but it's not
have
incest.
a child with your? It is incest.
No, because
How is this not incest?
it's not a relative. It's
Okay,
yourself.
You
Okay,
are your
but
own relative.
Picture this though.
Yeah,
Picture
but is it jerking
you
off
have-
then technically incest? No.
You have a twin brother.
Gay.
Okay, go, Evan.
You have a twin brother. Identical twins. And it's like your own twin almost. If you did that. If you had a sex change and everything.
All I'm saying
Right?
is,
So you're saying you are its father, its mother, and its brother.
Yeah.
and
And
technically
it's
it's
uncle.
mother
It's uncle.
And
not-
it's
not brother.
uncle.
and it's aunt because you're a woman.
And it's
Yeah.
It's an entire family. This kid has a one-person family. Okay, well, I think I told
No.
Corey. I was like, Corey, you honestly have to try this. I said, you'll become famous, first of all, for trying it.
Yeah.
Second of all,
We could get a reality TV
Famous
show.
or
Oh,
in
for sure.
jail, either one.
Yeah.
but honestly,
How in
like,
jail?
Well,
Yeah, because
I'm
then-
sure you're not allowed to do it.
when the kid comes out as a
Because
fucking
people,
pylon,
there's some crazy people in the world. I'm sure
When-
somebody's thought of
when
about
the
that.
kid comes out and the doctor says, "Is this a traffic cone or a kid?" Okay, they're gonna be like, "I don't know if this is legally okay," and then you're gonna get everyone, and they're gonna say, look, like, you know, us pro-life people are really not okay with this. And then
I think even the pro-life people would have a problem with that. I think even the LGBTQ community would have a problem with you changing genders for the sole purpose of having your own child.
Yeah,
I think you would make everyone your enemy. Everyone. I don't see how one group of people will be for you having a child.
Huh? Maybe the doctors. The doctors will. Because they'll want to see it. They'll want to see it. But I don't know if you can get an organ. Like, I don't know if you can get the female organs like, because you need the proper production system inside.
Wasn't there that story where it's like a trans man had a baby with a trans woman? Wasn't that like a big story that happened?
Yeah. But how would, no, because the thing is, if they put organs, like, say they develop a uterus, you need your eggs and stuff, that wouldn't be part of your DNA because your body hasn't naturally produced it. So they need to take your DNA to produce the eggs.
So if you become a trans woman, you wouldn't technically have a period, right? It's that trans woman
I think this
transforming into woman. Is that it?
I'm not gonna lie, I think this is beyond our knowledge.
Our knowledge. We started the podcast with talking about a sign, like basically people born without anuses. You think that's not out of our realm?
I don't know. Let's see.
Google exists.
So. I'm gonna look up to make sure I said the right thing, so I'm not.
How a transgender woman could get pregnant? Well, you could have a uterus transplant, but the thing is, I don't know if it'd be all your DNA. You know. So we're doing some back and chest
trans
today.
woman is a
you
woman
can work out
who's
here if you want, but
if you want to give me a program, sure.
Dude, I did a workout yesterday. I did a workout yesterday. You can check it out on HCAM Fitness, you know, on their highlights. Okay, last plug, I promise.
If we're doing legs, I'm not doing legs.
No, I did it yesterday.
Doing legs?
No.
And
squat me.
And so what you do is you start off, you know, you do like 5 rounds as a warm up, but it's also to like pre-exhaust your muscle. So you do 5 rounds of like 12 squat to overhead press because it was legs and shoulders, and then some face pulls with a band, you know, to hit your rear delts, and then you do the workout. So I did 3 supersets. So I did first superset was like 4 times 20. I don't know. I think it was like lunges with shoulder flies, and then I did 4. My next superset was 4 times 20 RDLs with a hold at the bottom. So you hold on your contraction, and then you do some shoulder press 4 times 20, and then you do your last superset, which is side lunges and reverse delt flies, I think. Anyway, so that wasn't bad. But then I finished off with, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try something new. Do some pyramid sets. So you start at the bottom and work your way up, and then you work your way back down. So I did 8, 10, 12, and then 12, 10, 8 back down. So I did 6 sets of 8, 10, 12, 12, 10, 8. So I did split lunges. So you have your foot on your chair, and you do like your lunge on one leg, right? And some front raises. And I tell you, when you get to that last set, because you've done your 8, 10, 12, then your 12 again, 10, 8. I thought my legs were going to have a heart attack.
I get so nauseous when I do legs. It's not fun. I feel like I'm a puke all the time.
Yeah? Drink some Ronnie Coleman pre-workout.
That's all I did when I went to the gym. That's all I did. I would do legs.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think it's the easiest exercise to do. Personally, I think there's not...
Yeah, true.
It depends, honestly, how you like it, you know?
I like doing legs.
Some people like doing legs, and others just hate it. But the thing is, too, it's also, like, because you feel different. When you do legs, it's a different type of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Because, like, sometimes you do legs, and you're, like, it's mentally hard, you know, to keep doing legs, because it's such a big muscle group. You have your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, you know. So, it's such a big muscle group that you're trying to work all of it. You're not going to work your biceps, triceps, and shoulders all in the same day most of the time, right? You do your biceps, triceps, or your shoulders and your back, or your chest and your back, whatever. But your legs are just doing all of them, you know? So it's like, you're kind of like...
That's a fair point.
You know, a lot of bodybuilders, they'll do quads You know, they'll do quads one day and they'll do hamstrings and glutes the other day. So they'll split it. So they'll do, I don't know, maybe biceps and quads, and then they just kill their quads. But these guys are also like, you know, they have 35-inch legs.
Yeah, and they're also professionals.
Yeah, but you could definitely do
at
that.
best an amateur. At best.
Jared is an amateur bodybuilder. If you guys don't know,
Yeah, I'm getting there.
he also has a pineapple T-shirt on. I'm surprised. You know, you have a lot of pineapple stuff.
I like pineapples. Yeah, pineapples are good.
Very citrusy.
Citrusy.
Or
That's
acidic.
okay.
Oh fuck! I screwed that up. Didn't I?
Or
That's
citrus.
staying in.
Okay, but
citrus is like
It's like
oranges,
oranges and-
lemons,
and-
limes.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the real question, because I was talking about this with Corey again, and Corey and Jason are, as we call him, the Pylon.
Yeah.
That is his
Pylon
nickname,
himself.
the Pylon. If you guys don't know what a pylon is, you heard it here first at Shed Talk. It's someone that is completely useless. You have a traffic
Poor
cone.
Jason. This is going to be on a podcast literally forever.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, no, Jason's a very good kid, awesome guy, super funny,
Kid.
and he's
Kid.
kid.
Call
Well,
him a
I say that
kid.
because he's younger than me, you know. But
About like 2 months or whatever.
no, he's honestly he's very useful. Actually, he was doing electrical and stuff at work, and he works good. Like if you ask him to do something, it's gonna be done properly. You know, he's definitely not a pylon. But me and Corey joke with him. We call him a pylon. But a pylon is someone that just a traffic cone has use. You know, everyone hates them, but they have use. A pylon just has no use. You ever see those NFL pylons? You know, in the end zone with the camera in them. The camera useless. They never use it.
Yeah, true.
Useless. Pylon equals useless.
But it's the refs that are useless in those.
And the
The
refs
re-
are useless.
How do you blow every single call ever? Like it's
You know, like
the worst.
Saints versus
just-
Rams. I don't know what happened there. You know, NFC Championship game. No, but Jason's definitely not a pylon. We just screw with him. Corey, on the other hand, Corey, I hope you hear this. You're a pylon. Anyways, getting back to it, we were talking about if it's harder to make the NHL or the NFL. What's the hardest sport to make it? Jason said he thinks it's the MLB. And I said the MLB, no. I think where we are, the hardest is the NFL because we're in Quebec. You know, it's easier to make the NHL here than the NFL.
It's harder to make the MLB in my mind from Quebec.
Do you think it's harder to make the MLB, the NFL, or the NHL from Quebec? It's definitely not the NHL. I'm saying if you try, like at 8 years old, you're dedicated. What do you think, Evan?
Well,
I don't know.
if you change it to CFL, because NFL.
true. True. No,
I
we'll
think
go
it'd
with
be,
NFL.
it's definitely easier to make the CFL than the NFL from
Yeah.
Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is just a fact.
Because you take how many guys from Quebec have made the NHL? A lot.
A lot,
Right?
How many guys from Quebec have made
The NFL.
MLB?
0. I'm pretty sure like there's like
MLB?
literally nobody.
There was one guy who's from Montreal this year.
Oh.
Made it. He was
And
on the Astros.
there's two people from Quebec that have made the NFL. I think, but the thing is, the NHL is very technical. Like you gotta skate good, you know.
Yeah.
In the NFL, you have to be a really good athlete. The NHL too, but you know, in the NFL, if you have
Really good athletes. It depends.
Depends
Like
what
your
you
position and everything.
because if you're a really big guy, you
Yeah,
know,
I'd like you.
if you're 6'6",
You don't
like
have to do much, right?
if you're 6'6", like 350, you know, and you just work on footwork and learning how to block, get strong, you know, you're making the NFL
Yeah.
easily.
This could
You
not
know?
have been more difficult to find.
Dude, my laptop is at 14%. Now, you know, I appreciate Apple's stuff, but sometimes they gotta work on their battery life.
They got it. No, they do it on purpose.
Yeah, I guess,
So
eh?
you come back and buy it all the time.
4, 5,
I don't really know.
6.
Well,
Because
maybe I can-
because why would you go back the next year and buy the new one if your old one still works fine?
Oh, yeah, eh?
Yeah.
So they're creating a supply. Well, they're creating a demand from their own supply.
Yeah.
And they're the only ones that are supplying. It's like a cult, eh, Apple? Like, you're never gonna... If you're an Apple guy, most of the time... Like, I'm kind of an Apple guy. I'm not really gonna switch to Android. Like computers, maybe, you know, computers for sure. Like, you don't need a MacBook. Or watches too. Like watches, you get a lot of like Garmin or like Fitbit or stuff like that. Like you can get some good watches that aren't Apple. If not even better, Garmin's a really good watch. You know.
Problem with Apple is they make it so nothing is compatible with it unless it's Apple.
Yeah. Like you ever try and play Call of Duty Warzone on a Mac?
No. You don't even try. So I looked it up, and I had to count, which I'm not that happy. Out of 255 Canadians who have ever played in the MLB, only 30 are from Quebec.
Oh. That's not bad though. Well, that's not great.
It's not bad.
30. So yeah.
There's more people that made the MLB from Germany than there have been from Quebec.
Wow.
Just to give you an idea. There's more people from Australia to have made it to the MLB than Quebec.
Australia.
But they have nothing over there.
But they don't have the winters though.
Yeah, true.
More people from the UK than Quebec. I rest my case.
Yeah, but they don't. Yeah, I still think the NFL's harder. But the thing is, they don't have winters, you know.
Australia? No.
They have winters, but not like us.
Practice with kangaroos.
Here, Kangaroo Jack, go chase my ball for me.
Most of it's desert, anyways.
Yeah, you know. So when you you can just learn to throw as far as you possibly can. There's no boundaries, you know. Us, we have fences, so we can only throw.
Yeah, fences. There's no fences in Australia. What's it? Australia just doesn't have fences.
I take back my comment. I retract it. Okay.
So let's do a topic. We have been off topic for a little while now. Just talking about random stuff.
That is true. When did we start? Does anyone know?
We've been doing this for 42 minutes.
Wow.
I
Imagine.
think 45 would be fine. So
45.
do one, or around that, we'll do like one last topic and then.
Yeah, you
one
know,
last
like, okay, well, on Shed Talk, you know, with the boys,
Oh shit.
we tend to have a finishing topic of the day that will be consistent throughout our
Going to
episodes,
have.
you know?
I mean, we tend to have.
We tend to have.
We will have
Usually.
from now on.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess 10. Yeah, I guess
10.
10
We
is
will
10.
10.
Jesse will bring forward an argument that is something versus
Oh, okay.
a gorilla.
So here is, you know, a little bit of context here, but I once had a friend who is still my friend, but he's, I'm not going to name names, but he knows who he is, that said, if I put 3 to 5 Conor McGregors in a cage with a gorilla, they would win in a fight. And I said that is preposterous because nothing will beat a gorilla in a fight. And I will stand my point to the day I die. So our final segment of the day, of the podcast, which is going to be on all podcasts, is would it beat a gorilla in a fight? Now, you guys can bring up your competitors at any time. Your challengers, I should say. You know that TSN show, you know, where it's like...
The
like
1v1?
Yeah, like the champion versus challenger. Okay, this is it. The gorilla is the champion. So, we can
And
start
then
off...
if it beats a gorilla, does it change? Or does it go into like the Hall of Fame?
Oh, it goes...
We'll have like a Hall of Fame and be
Yes,
like,
it
this
could go
was
into-
argued that
yeah,
it would be the
it can
gorilla.
go in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
But, so, you guys can bring your challengers every week, and I will argue you. And if you can convince me, this is like a Steve Crowder change my mind here. Okay.
So I have to bring forward something to
Yes. So, if you want, we could start off with the...
Do we lay some ground rules down? Like, I can't just say, like, a dude with an AK-47.
Yeah, okay.
Because then
no,
that
no.
wins.
No weapons.
Like fist fight.
Fist fight.
Fist fight a
Fist fight.
gorilla.
Or animal. You can do animals or fist fight. So a human with only fists or animals. So you could say a grizzly bear, or that was a big one. Everyone thought a grizzly bear would win, okay? But I will... Anyways, so we can either do the
Do you
5...
have one, or do you have to bring one up?
Well, you can either bring one up, or we can do the 5 Conor McGregors.
Because the 5 Conor McGregors are going to lose.
I'm
Let's
just
be
saying,
honest here.
I told...
What point do you
I
want to
told-
argue, and then I'll try and bring something
I
against
told
it.
my girlfriend yesterday that I would... You know, Hafthor Bjornsson from Game of Thrones? You know, he's the Mountain, 6'9", he just beat the deadlift world record. Anyways, 6'9", 440 pounds. I would take 10 of him in a cage versus a gorilla. The gorilla would still win. I don't think they would win. I don't, because the thing is, you don't understand the pure
How
strength.
big is this cage? Because this is gonna need a little more context.
Doesn't matter.
If it's a small cage,
No, okay.
like
say
a
it's-
fucking like 8x8,
You know what?
I mean, he's getting
Look.
overrun. He's one man.
Say there's.
The
It's
gorilla
not
is
a
one
cage.
man.
Say it's not a. It's not a cage.
Field.
They're just in the jungle, and there's 10 of whatever, or 1 or whatever, and there's the gorilla. That's it. Like, you can be in an enclosure, but say like 100 feet by 100 feet, and it has like a gorilla enclosure. Like, in a gorilla environment, nothing will beat it. Because the thing is, give me your competitor. Give me your competitor.
If we
Evan,
go with
do you have a competitor?
let's go with the half Thor, whatever the hell his name is, right?
Yeah.
If they stand back to back to back in like
In a
very
circle.
close together, maybe not in a circle, but close together.
Yeah.
The gorilla, even if it's high, has to like pluck one off one by one to then beat him up, because the gorilla's gonna beat him up for sure, right?
Yeah.
I think we're doing that.
Yeah.
If the gorilla just jumps on them, I think they just fucking wrap around, and then the gorilla would be overrun.
Okay. So.
10 of them. You gotta realize how
10 of
many.
Yeah, that's
10 of
4.
them is an insane amount of.
10 of them. Put 10 of them back to back. Maybe.
I think if it's 3v1, the gorilla wins.
The problem here is, okay, you have to look at it from an analytical standpoint here. You know? So
Yeah,
very,
even though yeah. Okay.
okay, so look. So you have a gorilla who weighs, a silverback gorilla, you're talking 800 to 1,000 pounds. These are some chunky boys. Okay?
Some big gorillas.
And this is not, half stories maybe. He's 400 pounds, but he's, maybe 300 pounds of muscle and 100 pounds of fat. These gorillas are probably a solid 700 pounds of muscle. Like pure,
Yeah, gorilla's not fat.
no
No.
fat, And it's not even, his forearms and his calf. Well, technically his calves, I guess, right? His legs, because he can grab stuff with his legs, are ridiculously strong compared to a human, right? Like his forearms, think about it. He can hold his own body weight from a tree off one forearm. That's 800 pounds, And the gorilla, a lot of animals, it's not, okay, I'm going to go 50% power. It's, I'm really gentle, or it's 100% of my strength. Like, I'm going to hold on to something 100%. It's not going to be like okay, like, he's attacking me. I might just use, like, 30%. I think it's more of, like, an instinct to go 100%. So, he just grab one and throw him. Like, he could throw, I'm pretty sure a gorilla could throw a 400-pound man.
Yeah.
Right? So he would go, and they have giant canine. They have thick teeth, bro.
But 10.
10. Because
10. I don't. You do 3, 4, maybe even 5. The gorilla, in my mind, wins 100% of the time. Sorry, dude. Sorry. I don't think you win. 10, I think he has an absolute shot.
10 at the same time, yeah.
I
If
think
they stick
if the
together,
gorillas in the jungle, no.
if they're by themselves too far apart, gorilla's going, picking one off, out, and then it's
Because
done.
the thing is,
If
how
they're
would
together-
how would you stop a gorilla from moving?
This is what you do. You have 9 people, and you have 1 sacrifice.
The decoy.
The decoy. You wait for the gorilla to jump on him, and when he's tearing him apart, the 9 other people was like, what, 9 times 400 pounds? Jump on that gorilla
Yep.
and start beating the
But look,
shit out of
okay,
that
this is the
gorilla.
problem.
Sure.
So say they come in, like, they have the decoy in the middle, The gorilla
Yeah.
jumps down, and they all circle around him and come attack the gorilla. If the gorilla takes off towards one of them, they're not stopping them. That's
You
the
just
thing.
gotta...
The gorilla, the
max 2
it's-
decoys.
It's
max.
It's containing the gorilla's the problem. The gorilla, they said, if a gorilla had proper bodybuilding techniques,
Oh my god, imagine.
powerlifting techniques, it would be pushing like 3,000 pounds on the bench,
Yeah.
just banging out reps. Okay, the best
But
human.
it doesn't.
No,
That's the-
Unfortunately.
I don't know. I
Unfortunately.
don't think.
Maybe if this podcast takes off and we make enough money, let's buy a gorilla and then train it.
I'm not buying a gorilla.
I think that's animal abuse, Jared.
How is it animal abuse? We're training him. We're
Well,
nurturing him.
No,
Technically-
because then he's gonna turn on us.
Technically,
Have you
Not
seen
if we get
movies?
him at... Not if we
Okay.
get him at a young age. This is not Planet of the Apes.
This is part of my theory too. Is that like not a baby ape, but like a middle, not a middle age, but like a middle age. You know, an ape with like a family and like a house and a white
Middle-aged
picket
ape.
fence. Okay, no, but like a teenage ape, like a teenage, I don't know, regular sized ape, could maul a human's face off
100%.
easily.
Even a baby ape, I think, could do that.
That's the thing. So imagine 2 of you, 3 of you, 4 of you. I think 4 of you could you could take one like middle-aged ape. Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe not even. I think 3 people could not take a fully grown ape.
We're not talking about a normal human being either. We're talking about
Okay, so you take.
a mountain, literally.
I don't, because the gorilla's too spastic. That's the problem.
Spastic.
He's too spastic. You don't know what he's gonna. A human, right? He's gonna throw a punch. You can at least kind of counter some of it. A gorilla, there's no stopping a gorilla. It will go 100%, and it will just like black out, and it's going to maul everything in its path. That's the thing. You can't stop it. And then, say, are they all clones, or do they all have a mind of their own? The 10 half-Thors.
All clones.
Because if they
It's
just
clones, but
do
like
they care about
one
their lives?
hive mind. No, we're sacrificing one of them.
Yeah, sure.
Because think about it.
Max two.
If they're because they're gonna
Max.
hesitate. They're gonna hesitate going.
They
in 'cause
can't.
You're trying to fight a gorilla here.
We're giving them a
Hive mind.
bunch
hive
of
mind.
coke.
What happens if the hive mind gets killed?
Oh fuck.
If the
Then-
hive mind
Okay,
gets killed, are they
this
all
is
dead?
what I need. I need 11 of them. One that we'll put in a secure location, so that he doesn't die, so the other ones all don't just die. Right? We sacrifice one, max 2. My only issue with this and why it wouldn't work is if the gorilla would take apart one of them and start using its body parts as a weapon.
Probably.
And if that happens,
Because he
I
just
didn't
pick
think
he just
about
pick
that.
one up, right? And then just
if
fucking
he
go to
when
town.
he beats the sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
He could rip off a leg, an arm,
Yeah.
take the head, throw it.
Whatever. You
Like,
don't even know.
You don't even know what he's gonna
Yeah.
do. You brought the point. We don't know what's gonna happen to this gorilla.
Yeah.
We can't let it use
Exactly.
that.
Think about it. Could Half-Thor himself could not rip off a human? Maybe, but it'd be tough.
I would have to see that. If half Thor
I don't
could
think
rip
he-
off a body part, then we're golden. Because then he could just rip off a body part
Of
of
his own.
another one, and then they just
So you're saying you have Half-Thor ripping off another Half-Thor body part
Yeah.
yes.
to go kill the gorilla?
Yeah. Because the
But
main.
then I think he wins.
But what
Half
if
Thor if you
yeah.
watch it.
what was if the gorilla takes Half-Thor and throws it at another Half-Thor?
That's my only.
We're
issue.
just gonna call him Thor at this point.
We're
'cause
just
that's,
calling him Thor.
So what was if he
My
takes?
only
What was if he takes a
downside.
full Thor and just throws it at another Thor?
I don't think he'll
like
do that.
bowling
No.
balls.
I don't think he'll do
no,
that.
no.
Why wouldn't he? Okay.
No, because this gorilla, when he realizes people are attacking him, he's not gonna like.
He's gonna eat them. Do you see that? The
No,
little
he's gonna
kid,
want to kill them.
the little kid. You know Harambe, my boy. Okay, that died. Rest in
Harambe.
peace. Okay, he
The
should.
world went downhill
Whoever-
after Harambe died.
Yeah.
Whoever
Let's be
killed
honest.
him, by the way, I'm sorry, but you should get charged. Anyways, all I'm saying is that kid that he was dragging around,
That's
thank
a
God he's
story
alive.
for the rest of his life.
Bro, that gorilla was not even trying. The poor little kid, it was like a little tiny doll. It's like if I
That's
was.
domesticated. Wait, are we talking a domesticated gorilla?
No.
'Cause
We're talking a fully
Straight
grown.
what? We're talking about
The one that fights other gorillas.
Yeah.
We're talking about the king gorilla
Oh yeah,
fighting 4
10 doors
10 Thors
with a hive mind.
with a hive mind 11 off to the side.
Who's close? Yeah, but then he won't know what's going on.
We'll have cameras. Even then, if he's by himself, right? They all think the same. As long as he doesn't die, I think that the Thors will be able to survive. I think.
I don't think.
I don't
you-
know. This is.
I think the gorilla.
I
I think it's.
How many Thors? Okay.
I don't.
Now,
I
how many
don't think
Thors do you think?
20.
20? I think that's. No. I think we're at a
20
point.
is easily winning.
No.
Easily.
No,
I know. I
Yeah.
think that if we have too many Thors,
Yeah, then there's a problem.
then there's a
almost.
problem. But the
They're
gorilla.
not efficient enough.
efficiency is key.
I think the gorilla will. I think there's too many forcing gorilla, and the gorilla will just go up and then he'll start picking them off. I think too much is like too little, right?
Yeah.
If you have too many,
because the
gorilla will.
The problem is, okay, it's like why I don't think they beat him is because with 10 half Thors, you can't. It'd take 3 of them to hold down one arm of a gorilla. A gorilla at full strength, if they all grabbed his arm and were like, stop this arm from moving, if the gorilla wanted to move, I'm pretty sure it'd take at least 3 of them to stop the gorilla's arm from moving. Gorillas are really strong.
No, we know. This is why it's a
Okay.
segment.
Yeah.
So, and this is
3 of
why
them.
we've been at this segment for like 15 minutes now.
Okay, so if you take one gorilla, he has 4 body parts here, okay? Plus his mouth. So you have 4, that's not 10, bro. 3 times 4 is not 10, I'll tell you that right now. Okay, you need at least 12. 15, potentially.
Because we still have to remember,
So-
we still have a sacrifice to distract the gorilla. We can't just attack the gorilla. We need to distract it.
So we can agree that 10 would not beat a
10
gorilla.
will not win. Okay, I've 15, 16. 16. Hive mind away. This one needs to survive.
Okay, next gorilla
And it's
segment. is gonna be-
12.
Next gorilla segment, you guys have to come up with a
It'll
challenger.
be better
It's-
because we'll be able to research a little bit. Because
Yeah.
I'm saying
This
it's
is just me off the top
All I'm
of my
saying
off
is-
the top of my brain.
all I'm saying is a gorilla could probably deadlift 4,000.
So then
pounds.
it's you say we need 12, right? Because it's 6. It's 6.
Yeah.
It's 3 3 3 3. Sorry, not 6 6 6.
yeah.
3 3 3 3.
Yeah.
It's 12. Mixture. Sacrifice.
Yeah.
So that'd be 13
Yeah.
plus to have mine 14,
Yeah.
and then we have one alternate. We have a rover.
An alternate.
rover.
We have a rover.
He's just
the
scouting
area.
around when
Yeah.
the gorilla's weak. I don't know.
13,
It'd be
14,
tough.
15. No, we have 2 rovers. Never mind. I fucked up the math. Made sure I didn't fuck up the math.
As we all
And
know,
then fucked up the math.
Jared's math is below par. Sometimes.
par.
But if you ask him to count twisted teas, I could say, Jared, what's 100 divided by 3 times 4 twisted teas? And he'll know the math.
No, I don't.
Damn it, Jared. You're supposed to know.
I mean, maybe we'll prepare that for next time. We'll have it
We'll
written
have
down.
We'll have it, like, ready to go, you know? We'll, like, cheat it out.
I mean, mental math is difficult. There's
Nowadays, because you just use calculator.
Yeah,
once
I
you get in high school and that's
True.
it. So
I think if I was not trained, what's the word I'm looking for? If I was prepared better, if I was taught, that's the word.
taught.
Nah,
Yeah, true. Well,
maybe.
Yeah.
If throughout my life I didn't have to use a calculator, like they weren't invented or something,
Yeah.
I think I would have been.
Then yeah, everybody.
I think I would have been a lot better at
Do you think
mental
if
math.
calculators weren't invented, we'd all be born?
What?
Because think about it. You know something's not invented, it changed the whole timeline. Do you think we'd still be born? Evan's like, I ain't getting into this
I'm
topic.
trying to go up my family tree to see if a calculator was a big necessity
if,
on
like,
trying to
what
get
if
my
you're- what if
ancestors
you're-
to Canada.
What if one of your ancestors is like, let me calculate how many kids I can afford, and he used a calculator, but if it wasn't there,
That didn't
he-
work because we ran out of potatoes, and now I'm here.
oh, he's like, let me calculate. Oh, I can only afford 12. But if he wouldn't have had a calculator, maybe he would have only had 10.
If you look on my mom's side, if you go through my mom and then my mom's mom, I'm second generation born in Canada.
I thought you
So-
immigrated from Ireland
Not me directly. My grandmother did.
on your dad's side.
On my dad's side,
Isn't it weird how
hey,
your
on my
last name-
my dad's mom was not born here.
Isn't it weird how your last name's green and the Irish flag is green? That's
The
not all
color family names are mostly Scottish.
Are they?
Oh.
Whoa. I didn't know that.
I'm not that
So, like, do you guys
Irish.
have a lot of potatoes?
I'm mostly Scottish.
This is very stereotypical, but, like, I know because Gary, you know, he was eating potatoes the other day, and he comes in, and all we had was vegetables and potatoes left. My mom was going to cook him, like, meat or something to eat, you know? He's like, I'm Irish, I don't need meat. And he literally sat there, mixed up the potatoes, put some vegetables out, some butter, and he's like, this is perfectly fine for me. And I said, how could you eat that much potatoes and, like, not want a taste of anything? So, like, you
I think
you could just down
I
potatoes.
think in my blood. If I went a full day, I think I could just eat potatoes.
But
for
you don't
a
drink
full
beer.
day. I don't drink beer, no.
Beer does not come from potatoes. Wow, I thought beer came from potatoes.
Vodka.
Vodka.
I could drink vodka all day.
Vodka. Wheat. I got my wheat and my potatoes mixed up. Oh,
The
Evan.
potatoes are great.
Okay,
How
but-
do you not love potatoes? You
Here's-
don't tell me.
Okay, no,
a
I
baked
like.
potato.
No, okay, I like.
Well,
I'm
I
not a
could-
fan.
No,
I'm not a
no,
fan.
No,
No.
me neither.
Wow.
You know those potatoes that
Okay.
are sliced up and you fry them in a pan.
Fries.
No,
fries?
Jared. Not
Well,
fries.
pretty close to fries, yeah.
No, but they're like
Like
round
wedges.
slices. Round slices. You know, you buy them in a can.
Scalloped potatoes.
Scallop potatoes
Okay.
or mashed potatoes. But no, I'm not a very fan of potatoes with the. I really don't like those small potatoes with the skin on them.
Oh, those are amazing.
I don't like them. Not,
The,
a big fan.
the
Oh,
little
I-
potatoes,
Yeah,
as we
yeah.
call them at IGA.
Not a big fan. But
Little potatoes. I could eat those all day.
I talked to Yuri about the beer route, okay? And a little context here. Evan's aunt, who he still probably has not asked,
No.
has racks of beer, okay?
She'll hear it from the
She,
podcast.
she gets free beer.
She gets free beer, okay? From Sleeman. Shout out to
She
Sleeman.
works at Sleeman.
That's
Shout out
all-
Sleeman.
Shout out to
Sponsor
Sleeman
us.
because
Yeah,
honestly,
true.
giving people free beer, that's what they need sometimes. Twisted tea. You should be doing that.
Twisted tea.
Anyways, so
Only alcohol
me and
sponsors
Evan
on this show.
Yeah,
Or Pat McAfee.
of course. And HCAM Fitness. Let's go, boys.
Who would you guys sponsor the show?
Yeah. Well, technically, if we buy the mics and we run it. Anyways. Okay, so
Does it give you a business expense?
I should business expense the whole thing. So I was like, hey, look, my buddy has a bunch of cases of beer that his aunt has, and he'd probably get for free if we get a truck down and go down. And he's like, interprovincial beer smuggling. I'm down for that. I'm like, seriously? He's like, if it involves interprovincial beer smuggling, I'm down for that. I'm like, okay. So if there's a couple cases in for him, and he said just make sure the
For
beer.
sure, I'm not going there and getting 3 cases. We're gonna
I
fill the
know,
fucking
but-
truck.
so I
Fill
said-
the truck up.
he said make sure
we
the
could
beer's not
podcast
bad.
on the way there and back. It'd be one long podcast. But
Sure.
Yeah, because the shed will not be ready by then, for sure. So we can't do it in the shed, you know. Shed talk.
shit talk. The shed will be ready.
Yeah, but one day.
Okay, we have the shed. We just gotta fix the shed.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Gotta take stuff out of the shed. So he said go down as long as the beer's not expired or whatever, which shouldn't be. Get him a couple beers, and he says, "Don't worry, no guys will stop you from." Cause,
Except for the fact that we're
police,
now
you know,
talking on the podcast about interprovincial beer smuggling.
The only one that's gonna find out is your dad, Jared. Okay.
And he
And
doesn't do border security.
No.
And I don't. Honestly, if I say, "Hey, Andrew, I know you're a cop, but like, you know, you want some beer out of it?" Oh, your dad doesn't drink, does he?
Twice a year or whatever.
Yeah, twice a year.
Your dad is low key my idol. I'll let him know that right now.
Twice a year. He drinks on his birthday and on New Year's.
That's it. He never drinks otherwise.
Maybe Christmas.
Anyway, so we'll plan that out, you know. And if the cops stop us, he says just throw a blanket over it. They won't have a clue.
But what does it matter?
Because a lot of people, what they do is, well, in the Maritimes, but also in Ontario, but in the Maritimes, people come from New Brunswick to Quebec because beer in the Maritimes is super expensive. Like in New Brunswick, super expensive, so they drive over to Quebec, get beer for cheap, and then they drive back, but a lot of it, and some of them resell it.
My mom drove there,
Yeah.
picked up 12 cases,
No,
and
I
came
know.
back.
Yeah.
But
No, it should be okay. I don't think they'll care.
what are they gonna keep? Oh,
Yeah.
you just have beer, okay? I have a party.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
way, like.
And he'll look at you and be like, "Oh yeah, how many people are at the party? You know, with the 50 people gatherings." I'll be like, only 5 of us. You know, we need about 12 cases of beer.
Yeah.
Even though none of us, except me and Evan, drink beer. I can't be drinking beer lately. Too many carbs. Getting jacked.
You can't even drink beer.
No, you know how unhealthy beer is for you. Wait, okay,
You can. He chooses not to.
getting back to your dad.
He's gotta fix his vocabulary there.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I can't. Yes, you can. You just don't want to.
I choose not to. Okay, but getting back to your dad. So he won't drink at all. He just.
No.
Is there a specific reason?
My grandfather doesn't drink either. Grandfather never drank in his life.
Never.
Never.
Wow. Never.
Never.
Not even as a teenager.
Never. He says never.
I don't
I
believe
believe him.
that.
Nah.
Do you think you believe that? Not even once. Like a
He did
full
make
drink,
him-
a sip, something. Does a sip count as a drink?
Guess. I don't think a sip would count.
No. He's never had a drink in his life.
No, I never. From what I've been told, he's never had a drink, bought a drink. Let's say he had a beer, to drink it from beginning to end. Never in his entire life.
That's impressive.
It is impressive.
You do know you've surpassed that about 4,000 times probably already.
I do.
In the span of 2 years.
I know. We just went on the fact that I'm not good at mental math, but 0 times anything, still 0.
Yeah, true.
No, I did not say. I said you surpassed that by at least.
But it would
4,000.
still be times 0.
No, surpassing and multiplication is different, Jared.
Let's not do that.
Anyways, I think we're gonna end this podcast here for the day, boys. It was fun, you know. You can go check out Twisted Tea if they ever decide to sponsor me and Jared. Evan, not a big Twisted Tea guy, I don't think, right? Well, a little bit.
Evan's
More beer, you know, more the Sleeman factory. If they want to employ him. So that's it for Shed Talk. Hopefully the Shed's ready for next episode. Probably won't be, you know. But
No, again, we all have jobs. The shed will arrive. We need to take time. We can't just have a raggedy old
we
shed.
could order a shed. A podcast
Where are you
shed.
gonna put it?
We should
Where are you
make
gonna put the other
podcast
shed? We
shed.
have a shed in the location. We're gonna put the other shed.
True. Okay. So that's it for Shed Talk for today. Tune in next time, you know. Like, subscribe, follow us. Go check out HCAM Fitness, our fitness page. Well, my fitness page, because, you know, Jared has a dad bod and Evan just does massive amounts of pull-ups all the time. So,
Just throw Evan a video. Just so Evan has one video.
so yeah, like, follow, subscribe, Shed Talk, Spotify, YouTube, you know. And that's it.